Martinez from Strategy Realty, and today I'm talking with Mark Lammers of Bank of the West about FHA financing. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mary Ellen, and yes, we are going to talk about FHA financing today. What questions do you have?
Well, my first question would be, what's the difference between conventional financing and FHA?
FHA financing requires a 3.5% down payment, where conventional financing is 10%.
Is there any other things that...
Credit, the flexibility in terms of the underwriting process with an FHA mortgage, it has more flexibility than a conventional mortgage would.
Would the flexibility be in the amount of mortgage that you can get, or is the flexibility in how you can qualify?
Usually, when we talk in terms of underwriting flexibility, it's more in terms of if you can qualify, who qualifies, what, if you might have some credit issues that might affect whether or not you get approved for the loan, as well as it does, there are limitations in terms of loan size.
Okay. Does FHA, can you qualify for an FHA loan if you are self-employed?
Yes. FHA, whether you're self-employed, whether you're retired, whether you're a W-2 employee, there is no difference between conventional and FHA as far as who can qualify. It's more or less a matter, they're going to look at your income, they're going to look at assets, they're going to look at your credit score, they're going to look at how much money you're putting down. Those are some of the variables that they would be looking at.
Speaking about credit scores, what is the difference between qualifying FHA and qualifying conventionally?
Well, FHA actually would like to see borrowers with a middle FICO score of 620 or higher. They will underwrite FHA loans down as low as 580, whereas on a conventional loan, 680 is going to be the standard. They do allow borrowers to go down to 620, but they would prefer their borrowers to be 680 or higher.
All right. And let's talk about ratios. What are ratios, and what type of ratio would you like to see an FHA borrower have?
Ratios usually is the it's income to debt relationship. What they prefer ideally for an FHA loan would be a 45% debt ratio, meaning that if you took your gross monthly income and you compared your gross monthly debt, including your new home loan payment, with that income, they would like to see your debt not to exceed 45%. It is flexible. It can go as high, I've seen it go as high as 55%. But the standard is 45. As far as conventional, that debt to income ratio, once again, is dependent on your credit score. Their target, yes, is still around 45% as well.
What type of purchasing power would I have with FHA? How big of a mortgage could I get?
Your loan size on FHA going forward looks like here in Tucson is going to be $261,000 approximately. As far as conventional financing, they allow up to $417 for their conforming loans.
Okay. If in the event I do go and I look at properties FHA, do I have to look at them differently than I would a conventional property?
I wouldn't look at them differently. I would say this is that, once again, FHA is more concerned with the functionality of the collateral. As such, they won't allow too many fix-up properties to be financed. Whereas conventional has a little more flexibility when it comes to that.
Okay. As far as closing is concerned, does it take longer for an FHA mortgage to close rather than a conventional?
The loan process is a little longer with FHA, but to the borrower it's probably insignificant. It might add a week in terms of closing. So if on a conventional loan you could close in 3 weeks, on an FHA loan you could close in 4 weeks.
What type of properties could I purchase through FHA?
You can purchase anywhere from a 1-unit, single-family residence up to a 4-unit, as long as you're going to occupy the property as your primary residence.
And can I have more than one FHA mortgage?
You can have more than one FHA mortgage, although they do require that, number one, your new FHA financing, that it be your new primary residence. Also, they do require, there's some kind of distance, and I want to say it's like 50 miles. They want to require that your old property can't be within 50 miles of your new property. They're looking for a reason of why you're buying a new primary residence. If you're moving down the street, they usually have a problem with it.
Okay. What would be strategically the best thing for me to do when it comes to going into the market and purchasing a home?
Well, I think the first thing and the most important thing for everybody to do would be to get pre-approved. The pre-approval process is important not only for you, the buyer, but it's important for the seller so that they know that when you make an offer on a property that you can afford it and that your financing is in position. So they're looking at it, and in the case that they get multiple offers, a lot of times that can be the difference. Is not necessarily whether one offer is $1,000 or more higher than another offer. Sometimes they really simply look at the pre-approval. They want to make sure that you're pre-approved, and they start to look at the financing as a decision-making tool.
Are all approvals equal?
Well, you can do a pre-qual, which is more or less just a verbal pre-approval. You don't pull credit. You don't go through the formalities of actually verifying income and verifying liabilities. If you go through a pre-approval process, it's an actual loan commitment. You haven't identified the property, but they will pull credit and they will verify income. They're going to verify your liabilities and verify your assets. So to me, there's a difference of day and night. One of them is kind of like saying, well, I'm a good guy, so take my offer and take my word for it. And the other one is just an actual loan commitment where you've got a financing institution ready to go.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mark, for your time. If you'd like to ask any more questions, please feel free to call Mark Lammers at
917-2096.
You can also follow us on Facebook and ask us any questions. Mark would be happy to answer. Thank you for